Cool. Great questions there. I'm gonna hand it over to the squid now to pose his questions.
Oh boy.
Oh, yes. All right. Well, right off the bat, because Shemi loves that phrase, I cannot let you guys just get off on the firecrackers versus smoke bomb thing. I really cannot. You can look at your metrics all day long, but nobody's ever run up and thrown down a double stun with firecrackers. I mean, they're just a totally different mechanic. Like, you can't just say they're more effective than smoke bombs. They have a different purpose. They work completely differently. If you're walking right at your pursuer and you throw firecrackers, you're gonna die, short of a miracle. Like,
well, see, I think that really illustrates something that I find really interesting, right? Because certainly, like when we look at our metrics, like it's a percentage of how many times a person uses, how many players use it versus how many times it successfully accomplishes its goal. Like, okay, so that's actually a ratio, right? So maybe more people are using smoke, maybe it's failing more, but maybe that's because people are using it incorrectly or something like that. Like that's where a community and like discussing things with people on forums, that's where that has more value, right? Like we were talking about this the other night, right, Squiddish? Like the long-lasting smoke with focus poison, that's crazy. That's a crazy bonus. That's a crazy bonus that you get. So, but we wouldn't necessarily have that feedback without a person to tell us. Like there's no numbers that we can examine that are going to just give us that strategy and just be like, here is a cheap strategy that people are exploiting.
Everybody listening now, and I don't care if you flame the hell out of me, Dave Graziani just said on this podcast that focus smoke poison is cheap.
I heard that too. Love it.
He was the same person that said on a podcast of mine that stun locking, just press Y. I'm just saying. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
I'm available for hire.
While I'm on the topic of nitpicking stuff you guys have said earlier, when Esco was asking about the stealth meter, you said your whole idea was you wanted to eliminate the blind luck of walking around a corner and being like, oh, hey, it's my target, let's kill him, and getting an incognito and a cajillion points for really no effort whatsoever. But especially at higher level play, for every time that happens, there are 10 times where I saw my target walk around a corner, and I stalked him just as much, but instead of walking right behind him, I'm just watching where he's going, I'm figuring out what he's trying to do, and I've set myself up to walk around that corner. It's not random. I've done just as much stalking the guy and hunting him and learning how he plays. It's just I head him off instead of come up behind him. So,
well, basically, you've almost sum it up at the beginning of your question, which is at higher level of play, which is something we are looking into, but you're not the only player around. So there's also some behavior that we want to encourage. So if we are only focusing on top hardcore player and basically tweaking the game only for them, we're going to get sure that we're going to end up with guys running on the rooftop and playing basically the game like it's not supposed to be played. And at some point, it may be ruining some other beginner player experience. With like an advanced player, somebody is running on a roof, you've got like, different ways of dealing with them. What we've done with that and the way we are working on that matter is, and we are still tweaking it, is we want to get sure that it's something that you can get, but you have basically to earn it. So no, it's not something that we want to get rid of. It's something that we want to encourage, but we don't want the bonus to be like automatic or super cheap.
So it's just a matter of adapting your playstyle, really.
Exactly, and I'm pretty sure that you guys are gonna still get that bonus.
Oh, hell yeah.
No, I know we will. I'm just raising a point here that you can stalk them just as effectively out of sight.
That's true.
Shadows.
No, you're completely right, and that's also why we are spending time on the game in order to get sure people are understanding the behavior. And one of the probably best feedback that I've ever got was from a French journalist that was working for a PC magazine, and basically they're super hardcore into FPS and everything, and they're having doubt when they came into Antin or press tour. They're like, yeah, the game is super cool, but I'm pretty much sure the PC community is going to ruin it because they're going to use every single exploit, like in Battlefield when you're doing cheap trick with helicopters and stuff like that, and bombs and everything. And finally they did another article just to say that the multiplayer is kick-ass and you should buy the game just for the multiplayer. And it was like, whoa, it's a crazy experience, and it has changed the way the community is playing, because at first we were playing a bit randomly, and finally there's like a learning curve, and once you're in it, it's working. And we want to get sure that we're going to reward players for, like playing well, at least in some specific mode. Like, we had a couple of modes like Deathmatch or Capture Artifact that's going to be completely different from what you've experienced in the past. But when we are playing into our main experience with, I would say, like Predator versus Prey, so Wanted, Alliance, Manhunt, we want to reward player for playing, like stealthily and being sneaky.
Okay, before my head and the collective head of the Assassin's Creed community explodes, this Animus hack streak thing here, you just say it kills everybody. Are we saying, like, everyone dies and you get some points for it and then they come back? Or is this like Modern Warfare 2's Nuke, where you win and everyone dies? Like, what is this?
No comment.
Oh, do the Nuke.
I like to keep it that way. And, like, Esco knows that I'm really into mind fucking off fans. So
Yes.
All right.
I can say that.
Yeah, you
No, I've checked with PR. Basically, I can say anything because they don't notice. So no, honestly, it's kind of cool to play with our fans, and with the universe and everything we're expanding, we like to have a bit of fun. It's cool for us also.
I mean, did you see the forum post on the forums? We have to keep some things secret just for the beta. There has to be some like element of you enter the beta and you earn that streak and then you use it and then you see what happens, right? Like we
Fair
could
enough.
just totally like.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
I guess we
sounds
could post a video, but then that would
That'd
take
ruin
all
the
the fun
surprise.
out of
I could probably
discovering
throw
it.
out my other 2 hack streak questions, though. I'm going to try anyway. When you hit your 6 silent kill streak, does it just go off, or do you have press up on the D-pad to kill everything?
I know.
You'll see in the beta. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be in it.
Can you use it in team games, or is this just free-for-all and Predator versus... Come on, people! Come on!
Still trying. You're so cute.
I hate all of you. Alright, new topic. Forget the hack streak. Prior to this hack streak, one of the things that I saw you announce that bothered me the absolute most, that I know Shenmue36 already knows exactly what I'm talking about, is that you announced the ability to kick dead people in the face for some points, should somebody steal your kill from you. So, where did this idea come from? Just a lot of people were getting frustrated about losing their contracts at the last second, or what was it?
No, honestly, we were talking with our executive producer, Seb Puel, and one of the things he missed, honestly, the game has a lot of similarities with a fighting game when you're playing online. I'm like a huge fighting game player, like Street Fighter 4 and everything. And in most fighting games, you've got a taunt, where basically you can get fun of an opponent just because you humiliate the guys. And that's something we had in the game. So there's a way to get fun of someone. It's also something you can customize and everything. So we thought that it would be really funny, especially when, somebody is really annoying you and finally you get him. So one of the things you can do using the taunt system would be to kick them in the face, and you may earn extra points for that. There's also a couple of new really greedy and humiliating kill. I would say that there's a new animation when somebody is on a bench and you're killing them. And honestly, it reminds me of American History X, and it's really, really hardcore. So
Oh my God.
I was like,
Oh, beautiful
No,
bench
I-
kills. Gabe's gonna love it.
I'm looking forward to that.
yeah, when we were showing that, I know that a couple of people were turning their head, being like, oof. So, yeah, there's a couple of surprise. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like the guy.
All right.
You
So
can
it
have to
does
try and
give you-
get this.
It
Feel
does
the
give you
montage
some
coming on.
points. So can you is that a free-for-all Predator and Prey thing only, or can you have your whole manhunt team go find the one outlier and someone kill him and the other 3 people kick him in the face a bunch and your whole team gets a bunch of points?
That's just cruel.
Honestly,
That's just awesome.
I know we'll probably do it, but
I don't know if our designers team has been, has go basically that far, but I'm definitely gonna raise that suggestion and saying that, in our ID box, like, this is something that we should look into. But I can't give you details on how it's tweaked right now, because honestly, it's still something that could change if it affects the score. I mean, whenever we are talking about something that could affect the scoring system, we may be like, careful with it, like finally removing the fact that you can earn points, just having the thing for the sake of it, like just being fun. But we'll see how it turns out during the beta and maybe before.
Sweet.
All right. One more question, artifact specific here, and then I'll let Rady or Magnitude X have their turn. All right. So I noticed in your artifact video, you got the line, you cross the line, you become a target, etc. But the guy that was carrying the flag, running back with the flag, I don't know if I just saw it wrong, but it definitely looked like he was still a target while he was on his side of the map, which implies he has the ability to stun his pursuers. So could you possibly get your pursuers over and have them chase you over to the rest of your team, and then throw smoke carrying the artifact, since you're still a target on your own turf, and punch him down and let your team just focus grounded incognito hidden awesome poison them for 1 trillion points?
That's a really specific question.
Yeah.
It's kind of super detail oriented, and honestly, no, I don't think that it would work.
Okay, so you can't flag carrier can't stun people on your own turf, or
I don't think
because it switches up the sides of the map when you're carrying the flag.
Okay, things you must know is that we are playing a lot of different versions with upgraded things and things that are changing. From what I can remember right now is that you cannot get the flag and kill someone at the same time. When you're in your own turf, it's probable that you're gonna be able to stun him. And usually, with the way it works, you shouldn't spend time trying to, trying to trap them instead of trying to rush with your flag, because it's still easy for somebody that is, a predator to kill someone. It's like, you know it happens, and especially because you're running towards an objective, meaning that you're not taking a lot of attention to the guy behind you, but you're, focusing on getting to your objective, hoping that your teammate's gonna help you. So the way it works, and when the game plays well with people that got experience, usually you divide the team with different roles. So you've got defenders, you've got a rusher, you've got different abilities, and there's a lot of way to basically get into that mode. But usually you're not trying to trap one single guy for the sake of having point and poisoning him, because as I told you, the flag itself is 800 points. So it's something that when you're in your zone, you better try to focus on scoring.
Yeah.
I'm just worried because if you present players with the option of turn your flag in for 800 points or run to your teammate and let him get a 1,400 point kill, I don't want Artifact turning into get the other team's flag, run to your side, and sit in a corner with your whole team sitting around you getting super kills on everyone that comes at you, because that kind of defeats the purpose of the game.
Well, usually I've not seen in playing game. I've not seen a lot of guys, a lot of defenders spending their time rushing after the guy. But usually the team is divided, so you also have to protect your own flag, which is something that if you're waiting with 2 or 3 guys on one single guy that got the flag, well, there's nobody protecting your own flag.
Yeah.
So usually it's a fest for them. They're just gonna they're just gonna pick it up, and still, if they're not going into your zone, basically you can kill them. So that's also something we've learned. Usually you don't follow someone in the zone where you can die, especially when you've got defending abilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's kind of an asymmetric gameplay versus, I would say, an ordinary capture the flag, where you basically can be killed and kill everywhere. It's not the case here, so you better take advantage of that situation instead of trying to, But maybe, who knows? Maybe it's gonna be like one of the best way to score in that game mode. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Not.
Well, no, and I think also too, certainly the behavior of the flag carrier. I mean, that's something that even on the team is like a hotly debated kind of issue thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so much it's a surprisingly deeper issue than you would initially think, because for exactly the reason that you're talking about, Squish, is what does that ultimately do to the gameplay? Will it pervert the gameplay from what the kind of experience that's going to be fun for both teams, where they feel like they're both challenged, or is one of the teams just going to be a bunch of cheap jerks, and is the game going to support that? I think certainly if we end up in a situation where that's occurring, we're going to change something, right?
Yeah.
And as Amar has said, we have the opportunity to tweak things on the server side, so that certainly and my job is going to be to provide that sort of like responsiveness to make sure that we can get in there and change those things and make sure that we can alter what needs to be altered. So the game is the most fun and the most competitive for everybody.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Squiddish time's over.
Great
You guys
question,
can go.
Squid.